What's going on, everyone? It's Marsellis back with another video, and we have a lot to go over with Bitcoin today. And yes, Bitcoin is trending on Twitter. That's the main thing of the day right now. It's trending huge on Twitter. So let's look at what we did previously. So previously, May 19th, this is when I started this whole prediction of these little trend lines here. So I have set a trend line channel here and a consolidation period. So this was the consolidation period here, and then we had just kept hitting the peaking and then bottoming out, peaking and then bottoming out, peaking and bottoming out over and over again until we finally decided to break out of our consolidation period, which is where we went up here on this uptrend, and we almost kept going up, but obviously we had to come back down and test that support line. And now we're going to try to retest that $37,000 resistance that we had. So honestly, we need to get past $35,000 first and $37,000 before we continue to rise. But yeah, this is the channels that we're looking at here, and let's just go here and look at it from a more closer perspective. So looking at it from a more closer perspective here, you can definitely see that this is an uptrend here, and it's an obvious uptrend that we're just continuing to rise here. And Bitcoin is really trying to break out of this consolidation period that we're in right now. So a lot of different altcoins are actually breaking out way faster than Bitcoin, but I don't want to do too much on the technicals, so let's move on from the technicals, right? I just wanted to show the progress on everything that we've been talking about for the past 2-3 weeks on Bitcoin and how we got here with this channel. So without further ado, let's get on to it. So trending right now on Twitter. So pay me in Doge is also trending, but pay me in Bitcoin is trending as well, right? So going over here to the Explore page, you can see pay me in Doge right here at the top. We have pay me in Bitcoin at 30,000 tweets inside the last hour. Like, that's huge right there. 30,000 tweets, that's huge. And we were like number 2 and number 1 eventually, but then we kind of started dropping down, and then pay me in Dogecoin kind of took over. So it's at 25k there, but we're still trending here overall with pay me in Bitcoin. But yeah, pay me in Bitcoin is going crazy. A lot of people are seeing it. And you see Sean Culkin, he's an NFL tight end, so he's in the NFL and he's getting paid in Bitcoin. So many different people are talking about this. If you think pay me in Bitcoin is the way, then you surely haven't done any research into Emacs. So they're obviously trying to, promote their own little crypto here. But pay me in Bitcoin overall is going crazy. A lot of different people are talking about it. Let's go ahead and refresh it so that we can see some new tweets here from pay me from Bitcoin. So obviously we have Matt Wallace here talking about it. He's the big Bitcoin or Dogecoin guy. Then we have Bitcoin Magazine talking about it, pay me in Bitcoin. We have everyone talking about pay me in Bitcoin. We have POMP. I don't even know who this guy is, but guess he's popular, right? So he's really big with this, pay me in Bitcoin. And yeah, Jack in the Box, you all know Jack in the Box, the fast food chain, pay me in Bitcoin. They're doing pay me in Bitcoin, but they also like pay me in Dogecoin too. So that is a big thing there. So a lot of people are doing this. A lot of people are following the trend, and it's pretty cool to see this. So definitely some good news here. And also check out the link in the description for Voyager. You'll get free $25 in Bitcoin if you sign up, if you invest $100. So put $100 in the Voyager and you get free $25, and you can also stake your Bitcoin. All you need is 0.01 Bitcoin, which only comes out to be like $300 right now. So put $300 in and you can stake Bitcoin. It's like 5% every month. So that's pretty cool right there, that you can stake Bitcoin and you can get that money every single month with Bitcoin. Or maybe it's a little lower or higher, I don't know. It's somewhere around there, around the 5% range, because I know Cardano's 5%, so it's somewhere around there. But yeah, pay me in Bitcoin is going crazy right now, and we have a lot to talk about, so I'm going to move on from that. So market cap right here with Bitcoin, $646 million. So we are up 4% right now, so that's doing pretty good. And I don't want to go over this too much, but as you can see, this is a lot. I mean 646 billion, not million. I mean billion. But yeah, look, we are going up crazy here with Bitcoin, like all the way from $32,000 earlier today to $35,000. Pay me in Bitcoin helped like make this whole thing happen. But also a lot of news has came out about Bitcoin lately, right? So look at all these Bitcoin whales, a lot of Bitcoin whales putting a lot of money in here. I don't want to stay too long on one subject because we have so many different subjects to talk about, and I don't want people to click off the video without watching the whole video, because there's actually really good news that we have to go over. Like, everything is coming back to back to back to back. So many different crazy things are happening, and I don't want everyone to miss it. So look at this whale right here. This whale right here put a lot of money, $344 million into Bitcoin on the 3rd of this month. So many different whales like this, right? So let's move on from that. Now, 3 reasons why China's Bitcoin crackdown isn't all that bad, right? China's Bitcoin crackdown is not bad. Actually, we're seeing a lot of people moving into the US just so that they can mine Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin miners from China, yeah, they sold their Bitcoin, and that's why Bitcoin dropped. but they're trying to move out of China right now. They're trying to move out of China so that they can, continue to mine Bitcoin and continue their operation, right? So let's read over this. So now, this says China's first major crypto statute came in 2013 when the government recognized Bitcoin as virtual property but banned it as a medium of transaction. In 2017, China's central bank declared initial coin offerings, ICO, illegal, causing Bitcoin's value to temporarily plummet. So that was back then, and now their latest announcement of mining Bitcoin ban has made it drop even more. So right, they just spread a lot of FUD about Bitcoin, fear, uncertainty, and doubt is what FUD means. So the number one reason is Bitcoin is not banned in China. It's not completely banned. So over here, as it currently stands, Chinese citizens aren't being forced to surrender their assets to the state. The terms Bitcoin and ban have been thrown around a lot with regards to the China clampdown, but it's important to note that there has no been outright bans. Like, there's no outright bans on there. So that is a complete false, complete FUD, right? So China's central bank is primarily concerned by the increased popularity in cryptocurrency because it directly challenges the nation's economic and financial stability by upping the enforcement around speculative trading, crypto trading, and mining. It's the Chinese State Council's hope that the nation's economy will better. So pretty much what they're saying, they didn't ban it, they just regulated it heavily. So then it's really hard for, the big dogs to get in the game, right? So while China has taken a more aggressive stance against Bitcoin and crypto in general in recent months, some of the regulations being mentioned could be subverted in the same ways they have always been. When China imposed a trading ban in 2017 during the ICO boom, cryptocurrency trading continued with many participants switching to foreign exchanges based in Hong Kong and Japan. So really, they were still investing, but they just weren't investing in the Chinese-based cryptos, right? So, improved mining decentralization. So, while the exodus of miners may disrupt the crypto market in the short term, in the long term, increased decentralization promises to make Bitcoin, the network, less vulnerable to the rules and regulations of any single country. So now China does not control the whole Bitcoin mining operation. It's spreading because now people really can't mine in China, right? So it's estimated that 65% of Bitcoin mining takes place in China, with miners now forced to relocate to other countries. The redistribution should help to ease previous concerns of China's mining dominance. So lots of people have been moving all over the place with this, right? Now there's lots of people going to New York, like upstate New York, so they can mine, and lots of different stuff is going on. So a lot of people are moving around. They're not staying in China because China is now banning it, which makes it more better for the crypto economies, because now it's not focused in one area. So now if something happens in China, it's not going to affect the whole crypto market. So that's pretty good right there. So a greener crypto mining industry, right? So with a sizable portion of Chinese miners expected to be relocating to the United States, the exodus could actually be a positive step towards reducing Bitcoin's carbon footprint, right? So one landing spot for Chinese miners could be Texas. So the state benefits from some of the world's lowest energy prices, so that'll help a growing share of renewable energy sources in a deregulated power grid. Maybe most important, has one of the most pro-crypto politicians in the country as a governor. And just imagine people taking Tesla's energy grids for their their solar energy grids, and integrating it with Bitcoin. And inside of Texas, Elon Musk also has a Tesla facility out in Texas, and there's lots of sun in Texas. So 2 and 2 together, that is perfect right there. Just a little chart here that talks about the whole energy sources. So yeah, we have Asia Pacific, Europe, and Latin America, and North America too. So yes, as it stands, North American miners use a wider range of energy sources compared to Asian Pacific miners, and tend to rely less on burning fuels. And yes, a lot of North Americans use coal powered, but we also use the electrical grids for the solar panels. So that is another big thing. So this is going to really help make it more green for everyone, and this is what Elon Musk wants. So this is actually playing into Elon Musk's favor. So good news there. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. So Bitcoin miners flocked to an upstate New York town for cheap energy, then it got complicated. So just like how I was talking about people are flocking, but they did say it got complicated, right? So it says counties and cities are enticed by all these promises of job creation, which when you look into it they just don't materialize. I got tied up there. So let's go over here and read what they're actually talking about here. So it says, after dealing with a host of problems caused by a cryptocurrency mining craze, the former mayor of Plattsburgh, New York, on Thursday cast doubt on the economic benefits of miners setting up shop in the region. So pretty much the mayor is pretty much like, I don't want this in my city. That's pretty much what he's saying. So counties and cities are enticed by all of these promises of job creation, which when you look into it, and they just don't materialize. So what they're talking about is there's not many jobs. They're saying that the people are coming in with mining facilities with their own people who work for their own company. So they're not hiring new people. They already have their own people. So what they're pretty much doing is they're buying up land, they're buying up facilities, and they're mining Bitcoin. And they're like, well, now you're not giving jobs to anyone, and you're just taking up land for opportunities for local jobs, which I completely agree with. They should definitely hire local people, right? They shouldn't just, not hire local people and take up all this land. So I definitely agree with that. So it says we had one of the biggest Bitcoin operations in the world operating here and generated only a handful of jobs. So it doesn't take a lot of people to take a crypto mining machine and mine Bitcoin. Like, it doesn't take a lot of people. One person could actually do it all. But one person doesn't want to do all that. But it's a lot of work for one person. So Bitcoin mining is an energy intensive process that generates new Bitcoins, and miners using high powered computers solve computational puzzles to verify transactions across the blockchain. So yes, we all know how Bitcoin works, blah blah blah. But pretty much they're saying a few years ago when Bitcoin miners flocked to Plattsburgh, a small city of about 19,000 people in upstate New York, for its cheap energy derived from the Niagara River. So it didn't take long before the city began to experience a huge spike in electricity prices because they came through with the big facility, right? So after the crypto miners began using up energy quota, which Red said was 1.9 cents per kilowatt, he said it caused constituents to be in an absolute uproar because of the much higher electricity. So it's not helping out the locals. It's really just benefiting the crypto miners. So I kind of agree with that. Something definitely should happen. I mean, when you go to a small city and then you come there with a huge company and you take up all the electricity of that small city, it's going to drive the prices up for everyone else. So I definitely understand that. But what can you do? I mean, relocate somewhere else like Texas. That would be better, right? So Bitcoin mining could be about to get a whole lot easier after China's crypto crackdown. That's a funny way to word it. Could be about to get. Could be about to get. So that is a funny way to word it. All right, anyway. So could be about to get a whole lot easier after China's crypto crackdown. So yeah, that just means jobs are coming over here. Bitcoin mining facilities coming over here. Less people mining over there. And it's better for us. It's about to get easier. So the total hash rate or processing power of the Bitcoin network appears to have gone down sharply in the wake of Beijing's crackdown. In the last month or so, Bitcoin's hash rate has gone down from a record high of 180.7 all the way down to around 116.2 million. So that's a big drop, right? So more crypto experts are saying that with more Bitcoin miners going offline due to China's restrictions, other miners' share of the network will increase. So what happens if you have Bitcoin mining machines? Your profits are going to increase because there's not as many miners now, and your computational power, as they call it, is being used more oftenly than theirs. So it's going to help out a lot of miners, because if you don't believe it, inside of China, most of the Bitcoin is being mined there. And now that Beijing's cracking down on it, that hash rate's going to everyone else. Everyone else is getting paid more now because they're not hogging up all the Bitcoin mining, right? So good news for us, bad news for them. But anyway, Article 7 in Bitcoin's Latin American group. So this is what El Salvador, right? This whole thing's about El Salvador, this whole article here. And they're pretty much saying that they're forcing Bitcoin on the people who don't want it and taxpayers. So let's read this because this is controversial, right? El Salvador's Bitcoin law will make Bitcoin a compulsory currency and create costs for everyday taxpayers. Hardly an advancement for freedom or free money. That's a big statement there. So when I first heard that El Salvador had passed its Bitcoin law on June 9, I was astonished, blah, blah, blah. But when I turned the page to the second page, long statute itself, my excitement turned to dismay, though parts of it do indeed put Bitcoin on an equal footing with the US dollar, El Salvador's official currency since 2001. The law's 7th article says, every economic agent must accept Bitcoin as payment when offered to him by whoever acquires a good or service. In other words, Bitcoin is to be not just a legal tender in El Salvador, but a compulsory one. So everyone must accept it. Even small businesses pretty much is what they're saying, and it's going to affect taxpayers, they're saying. So compulsory choice. So forcing businesses to accept some particular money is both unusual and utterly at odds with the Hayek philosophy that led to Bitcoin's development and caused so many libertarians to embrace it. So that makes a lot of sense. So they're pretty much saying, like, if we are forced to have to accept this as a payment, where is the freedom in that? Don't we have the right to say we only want US dollar and not Bitcoin in our business? Yes, you definitely should have the right to only want it, but confusion about legal tender. Despite what many people think, deeming some kinds of money legal tender typically means nothing more than, so far as the courts are concerned, a debtor can use, say, U.S. legal tender to pay off an outstanding U.S. debt, even if a creditor would rather have the debt paid some other way. Although he wasn't keen on such laws, Hayek understood they were both common and, with notable exception, not especially burdensome. Compulsory or forced tender laws like Article 7, which was proposed by El Salvador's president, obligating everyone to accept certain types of money for any payment whatsoever. So that's where it gets a little fishy there. Any payment whatsoever. So I'm in a taxi and the taxi driver doesn't really want Bitcoin, but all I have is Bitcoin, and he has to accept Bitcoin legally. That's where the problem comes in. So I completely understand where they're coming from, right? So we'll just wait to see what happens like later on in the future with that, and I'll update you on that. But that definitely is going to be very controversial, and I'm going to need some more water right now. Alright, so we have a lot of stuff to go over. So this video is probably going to be particularly long. So another thing is, Bitcoin is the revolution. It is a complete revolution. Definitely, says Alex Gladstein. So Bitcoin is definitely a revolution. We don't have to go over this whole thing. I just want to show you that there are really people who really believe that it is the revolution of a century. It truly is. Like, just imagine the whole gold rush. This is the cryptocurrency gold rush. This is literally the digital gold rush. Like, it's what we all are looking for. And like, the mining in the gold rush back then is the mining of Bitcoin now. So that's how you should be looking at it right now. Like, I want to be mining Bitcoin, but it takes a lot of electricity. It really does. And some people really need actual power grids. Like, I can't do that here where I'm at. I would need an actual power grid, like an actual upgrade to my power grid, and that takes a lot of work and effort. All right, but let's keep going on. Now we have FUD. Yes, we have to talk about the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt of crypto, which is why some regulations are needed. We need to have insurance by the banks. We need to be backed. We need to be backed by this, because we can't just keep having stuff like this happen. It's starting to get annoying to see stuff like this, honestly. South African brothers disappear along with $3.6 billion in Bitcoin. Now, this was an exchange in South Africa. Let's read about this. The founders of South Africa's largest cryptocurrency exchange have vanished. Wow, another one. And it just keeps happening over and over and over again. Along with nearly $3.6 billion in Bitcoin after telling investors the exchange had been hacked. Sound familiar, right? A lot of things have said they have been hacked. Maybe they've been hacked by themselves. I don't know. But anyway, same thing happened with Binance. Same thing happened in Coinbase. Everything is saying we got hacked and the money is just gone. We need regulation so then we can get insured. So when it gets hacked, we can have the banks back us and then give the people their money back, right? But stuff like this is really ruining crypto. So a Cape Town law firm hired by affected investors says it cannot find Amir and Raiz Kaji, whatever their names are, the founders of Africrypt. The firm was warned crypto exchanges around the world to be on the lookout should anyone try to sell the digital currency on their platform, right? So Africrypt warned clients of a hack in April when Bitcoin was at its highs, according to Bloomberg. Oddly, though, it asked clients not to alert law enforcement authorities or lawyers, as it would slow down the recovery process. So just imagine this, right? You have a bank, you own a bank, or someone owns a bank and you're a customer, right? And then someone hacks into your bank account, right? They're like, no, don't go to the cops. We're going to deal with this. We don't want you to go to the cops because it's going to slow down our business. Imagine if Bank of America did that. Bank of America cannot legally do that. If your account gets hacked at Bank of America, you go over there, you notify them. They don't help you. You notify law enforcement and you file a lawsuit on them. And then you're literally backed by the banks. You're literally backed by the government. You are insured. You're going to get your money back. They have to give you your money back. But since there's no regulations on crypto, now you really can't get your money back. And honestly, this is in South Africa, so even American regulations aren't going to affect the South African crypto exchanges. So everywhere would have to regulate it, right? So it definitely sucks that this happened, but hopefully these people get their money back, and they just ran off with the bag. They just ran off with it. Yeah, it just sucks, and we gotta move on from this. So it just sucks for those people out there, but this happens time and time again, right? So while the crash of crypto token Titan that burned Mark Cuban may not foretell a Bitcoin plunge, I'm just going to read 3 reasons why, because we don't need to read the whole thing, right? So obviously this happened last week and a lot of people lost money, right? So Titan is a DeFi token issued to create liquidity for a decentralized finance project, not a first order coin like Bitcoin and Ether, which run on their own blockchain. So Bitcoin runs on its own blockchain, Ethereum runs on its own blockchain. And then you have all these other things under it. You have ERC20 tokens under Ethereum, and then you have stuff that's also under Bitcoin like Litecoin. And pretty much that is to sum it all up, right? So they are their own thing. They have their own blockchain. So that's why the whole Titan token thing does not matter, because they didn't have their own blockchain. Like if they had their own blockchain, it was their own thing, none of this would happen. So while all cryptocurrencies have been experiencing instability as of late, an extreme crash for the mainstream coins is very unlikely. So that is to help, with all the FUD. So good news. So yeah, Bitcoin hit 35K after Biden reveals infrastructure deal. Paraguay proposes Bitcoin bill. But yeah, Bitcoin and the whole Biden infrastructure deal. So let's just hope that with these regulations that we don't get huge taxes. That's all we hope with regulations. Just make sure we're insured without having to pay huge taxes on it. But that's kind of where the insurance comes from. It comes from the tax money. We already pay tax money on it though. So I don't even know why they won't just hurry up, do the little regulations. We're already being taxed. Do regulations, insure crypto, insure these banks, make sure these crypto exchanges have to do more vetting. Like make sure that you have to legally vet them and make sure they are legally able to exchange crypto in the country. That's all we ask. So that's all that needs to be done, really. And then the whole Paraguay bill, it has been submitted for the legal tender inside Paraguay. We already have it inside El Salvador. So reading likely to occur on my birthday, July 14th. So hopefully it does come out on July 14th, because that is my birthday. So they wish to be a crypto hub and promotion of green energy mining, just like El Salvador with the whole volcano thing, using the volcanoes energy. So that's pretty cool, and some interest from Argentina and Brazil now too. So cool stuff going on there. American University of Paraguay to accept tuition payments in Bitcoin, and we also just seen Bitcoin is about to become an actual legal tender inside Paraguay. So that's pretty cool right there, American University of Paraguay. So that's pretty cool. So more news, and we're almost done here. I know this is a long video. John McAfee hideout traced to Spanish ghost hotel with a Bitcoin farm. I had to put in some FUD there because we have to dismiss the FUD. Just look at this and then turn a blind eye to it, and just turn a blind eye to it and just say forget about this. This is stupid. It's FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, and it doesn't matter because Bitcoin is literally revolutionizing the world. Like it literally is. So China is actually all in on crypto, but only a brand it can control. This is a constant thing with China. YouTube goes big worldwide. China bans YouTube, makes their own YouTube. Just other stuff goes big worldwide. Can't really say what it is. They ban it. They make their own other stuff. And you gotta keep it family friendly there. And then a lot of other stuff is also banned inside China. Like there's popular brands. I think like there are popular American brands. I can't really think of them right now off the bat, but they'll ban them. They'll make their own knockoff of it. So that's pretty much what they're talking about. And they're having their own Chinese yuan, or whatever you want to call it, as their own crypto, their own digital currency. So they're literally really big on crypto, but their own crypto. And they're like this with everything. YouTube, they're big on YouTube, but their own YouTube. They've created their own. So good news and bad news everywhere. But overall, there's more good news than bad news. So looking at these charts here, we are definitely going to continue to rise out of this trend line. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Check out the link in the description for a free stock with Robinhood and Webull, and also Voyager, $25 when you deposit $100 and invest it. And also, you can stake your Bitcoin inside of Voyager, so you will get interest on that. So definitely check that out, and I will be back with another video. Peace.